nobody told me about porn at all. I mean, I think I have a sex addiction, something back in the days where titties and ass, and I just wanted to see it at a young age. And then I don't know who it was, maybe a neighbor or something. That's what it was. It was a neighbor, and I think me and my cousin went in his room, and we found some Playboy magazines, and I was like, oh wow! It was on from that point on. I mean, not that I wanted to do porn, but that's what was my first insight. Like, wow, there's pictures of naked women in books. So all my life, I always kind of been like a freak in the back of my head, kind of. So all through the times of me growing up, I've always been into very sexual. Like, I've always wanted to have a girlfriend that I could have sex with. That was my whole thing. Like, probably every young man in the whole world has that same desire, but mine was, I think it's a little bit different. It wasn't about having sex with them and putting it on video, but it was like having sex with them and being good at it, I guess to say. And at one point in my life, I was like, when I got a little older, I was like, all these women is making money off of sex. It's like, how can I make money off of sex? And at the same time, I'm still looking at these magazines, and time passes and the internet comes out, so I'm all on it. I'm like, oh, I'm downloading pictures. I'm like, oh, look, I got a whole collection on my laptop. This is before video even popped. It was just pictures. And I'm like, I got pictures. And I'm like, well, all these people got this stuff here. They must be making somehow. So at that point, me being myself and growing up in the city of Watts and making a lot of bread off the streets and being a hustler and always looking for something to make money with, that was something that I was definitely into. So no matter what I had to do to take the street nigga all the way up into an educated person so I can get in this game, that's what I had to do. So as for your question, it was just me. Nobody said, oh, hey, you should do, oh, wait, let me rewind that. Almost every girl that I was smashing told me, you should be in porn. And that's who it was. They were the ones that told me. Like, I had no idea, and I never really even thought about it. I just liked to watch the shit, you know? But they told me you should be the one in it. And I ain't gonna say no names, but there was a couple of them that told me that. So once they told me that, I was like, okay, well shit, that sounds better than like they used to sell dope on the block or something like that, you know? But they never told me how to make money off of it. So that was all up to me. So my first scene, well shit, the year, I can't even really think, that was a while back. That probably was about 97, around 97. I did my first scene in 97. And it was with this chick, her name was Minnie Pipes. And I met her on a party line. So this is when I first started out, and I was like, I didn't know where to find girls for videos or anything like that. So I was really like venturing off and trying to find out what I could do to try to find them. So I went on the party line because one of my buddies told me, he's like, oh yeah, I met this girl on the party line. She was wild, whatever. And I was like, okay. Well, he was like, gave me the number. His name was Slick too, matter of fact. So Slick gave me the number, so I called, and I left a voice ad on there. Like, I'm looking for females to, you know, star in adult videos.
You gotta back up. Most people aren't even gonna know what a party line is.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to back up.
No.
Okay, all right. So a party line is a phone number that you call, and people can leave. It's kind of like social media, but on the phone, without pictures. It's like a voice social media. This was before social media was really popping like that. So you would call and be like, you can just say who you are and where you live, or you can say whatever the fuck. You cuss people out or whatever you basically there to do. Right. So once you leave your message, then it goes to a rotation where everybody can listen to it. And if they want to make a response, it's up to them. where they can block it and never hear it again or whatever. And then the party line, wow, it's like, all,
No. Move your hand because you're causing a shadow every
oh,
time.
okay, all right, no problem. Yeah, so the party line is wow. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I could start here, probably find somebody, because I was on a low budget, no budget type of situation, you know, because I was just starting out in this thing. So I'm just trying to find somebody that just want to make a video, probably like everybody out there that's starting. I want to find somebody. So I was really checking my options. So I put my little voice message up on the party line, and I was like, hey, I'm in LA, whatnot. I'm looking for somebody to be in a, you know, in an adult video. So then I didn't get no responses. So I kept on trying and kept on trying. And then I got a response, and it was from Mini Pipes. So she hit me up, and she was like, yeah, I've done some stuff before. And then, well, she was real sassy. She was like from South Central or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe we should meet real quick or whenever, and then we can go from there. So we hooked up arrangement, and I met her, and I was like, okay, so yeah, you cool. The script was right and everything. So that way now we could talk and set up a day when we can shoot something. And then, so we talked and discussed and worked everything out, and it was basically POV. And at this time, I really had no camera skills at all. And I had no camera. The camera that I was using was it was called a Sony D-Snap, and it was like a little square, like a wallet type deal, like not even big as a wallet. And you flip, and it was a square like about that big. And then you flipped it up, and there was a screen and a camera, so it looked like a little tiny computer, but there was no buttons. It was just a camera and a play button, like a little mini DVD player. And you filmed with it, and everything was inside. So I had one of those. It cost me like $100. So that's what I was shooting with. The quality sucks. It was like the cheapest SD you could get. It was nothing near a cell phone nowadays, what we got. So I shot with that, and once I shot that video, then, oh shit, what the hell? Oh shit. From the roof. It's some bitches up on the roof. Hey, Shaundam. All right, anyways. So I shot with the D-Snap, the smallest, cheapest camera. You know, like I said, I had a low budget, no budget. At this time, I was actually DJing at a strip club in LA, King Henry's, off of Crenshaw and 135th Street. So, I mean, it wasn't a big tip situation over there. So, but you know, it was cool. But anyway, so I had my little small camera. So we shot our video, whatever. So I was like, now that I got this video, I need to find somewhere where I can make some money with it. And that was my whole goal. So once I went on the party line and found me a person to shoot with, then I got my video. And of course I paid her whatever. We'll leave that undisclosed, but I took care of her. And so now I started doing my search, and this is when the internet started getting big to where I was at. You know, everybody else probably already had it, but at this point where the low budget motherfuckers, you know, we was getting it. So I was like, instead of looking for porn, I'm finna sell something like everybody else. So I did my searches, and I was really trying to do this shit. Like, I was asking people for help, where can I go? And everybody was like, what they always tell you, you ain't gonna make no money, the money is slow. And I'm like, but they say it's what, 10 billion? Some type of $1 billion. And I was like, I gotta give me part of them billions. So I kept on looking, and I'm basically going to websites and looking at contact information. I'm talking about hundreds of them a day, because I didn't have nothing else to do. I had one video, and I was trying to sell it. So I would go to the contact information and then send them an email, be like, hey. So after I did all of that, somebody hit me up. My buddy Splat from Splatnet, he's from Canada. And from that first video that I shot and I sold to him, he put me on. He was like, well, I like the video, I like the way you shot it. If you send me some more, basically he asked me to send him a 60-minute tape that was full of it, like 3 or 4 different videos on it, and he'll give me $2,000. $2,000. And I was like, okay, for real? Like, what? So I took my little $99 Sony D-Snap, and then what I do, I go contact, and then I asked him if he like mini pipes. He was like, yeah. He called her April on the site. So on his site, he changed her name to April. So he was like, yeah. He's like, you can shoot with her, that's fine. So then I went and contacted her, and I made more videos with my little D-Snap, and he 3 months back to back with him, like just videos with just her. Then after a while, he said, well, I need you to start getting some videos with some different girls. So I was like, okay, well, that's not a problem. Really it was, because I didn't really have nobody else to shoot with. It was just that one I found. So then I was like, well, damn. Baby mamas. So I ain't gonna lie, I made a video of my baby mama, and that was one of them. I think we did one, and that was one of them. And then after that, I started telling all my friends what I was doing, all the homies, because I was in the graffiti crew. So I had a lot of homies in the graffiti crew, and we was all wild. So I told them what I was doing. And then one of the homies, he was like, hey, well, I know this one girl. He was always trying to hook me up with girls. Like, he's like, I know this one girl, and what was her name? I forgot. But she was like a freckle-faced, blonde chick from Huntington Beach. And I lived in Long Beach at the time. So I checked her. I was like, hey, can you come through? You may probably want to make some videos, whatever. And she was like, oh, yeah. I think she just wanted to get dick. That's all she wanted. She didn't really give a fuck. She ain't never did videos before or whatever. But at this point, I had my paperwork right, and I was ready. So she came through, and this was a freebie on my behalf because she just wanted to do it. So, and I already had ideas, like, from watching videos and stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, when she get here, I'm going to have her stick a carrot in her ass and all kinds of crazy shit. And I did have a carrot there, and she did stick the carrot in her ass. Yep. I can't say the quality of my POV was that good when I shot that first video because, yeah, I was doing one of these, like, ooh, yeah, like forgetting where the camera is on the ceiling and shit. But, you know, eventually it came out good. We did a little bit of some of this, but I still got my money at the end of the day with my $99 camera. Now, after a couple of times we ran that with a couple of different models, then he told me, hey, if you step your game up and your camera lighting up and everything, I could pay you more money. So at that point, that's when I told myself, more money. I'm paying him. I need to start learning some shit. So I started going to school, and I started educating myself on how to sound, audio, editing, lighting is very important. So I started doing that, and it wasn't quick, fast. It took some years. It took a long time. I met Splat online after a long search of looking for places to sell my videos to. I found Splatnet. So I contacted him, and he said, okay, well, I like to work with you. Let me see what you got. So he saw my video, and he told me, well, I could pay you X amount of dollars for it. And I was like, oh, that's dope. He said, but if you send me a 60-minute video, I could send you another X amount of dollars. I already think I said it earlier, but anyways. So that basically kicked me off to like, oh, I'm loving this. But at that point, when I met him and I started looking for other girls to work with, I got contacted off of my social media. And it was a couple that wanted me to go to Vegas. So it was like this was my first time with some cuckold swinger type shit. Never ever done anything like this in my life. But they told me like, hey, if you come down here, you can fuck my wife and I'll film it. And I was like, $2,000. Yep, I'm gonna sell this video to Splat. So okay, so I go from LA to Vegas, meet with them, everybody's cool. So we do our thing, we shoot the video, and I go ahead and take it over to Splat. You know, all the footage, and he gets his footage. And I kept one of the scenes for myself this time. And what I did was, in my search, I found this company called Clips for Sale, where you could upload your own videos and make money on your own. So I was like, all right, let me go ahead and throw this video up on Clips for Sale and see what happens. So I go back my normal day life. I wasn't doing the porn as much as I do now. So it was like, okay, well, if I run into a girl, I'll shoot her or whatever. And mostly still working with mini pipes. And finding new girls, and Splat was still paying me every now and then. So it still was good. I put this video up on Clips for Sale. 6 months later, I come from my DJ job at the strip club, and this is no bullshit. In my head, something said, click, you have a check in your mailbox. And listen to me now, I put this video up 6 months ago, I put it up there, and I never ever thought about it again, nothing else ever happened about it. I totally forgot about Clips for Sale. But when I walked into my building that day, something told me to check my mailbox, I have a check in the mail. I go up to the mailbox, I open up the mailbox, there was a check. I looked at it, it was from Intermark Productions. I was like, what's that? I opened it up, it was from Clips for Sale. $50 from one of my videos that I put up, my own $50 that I made. That right there sold me. It was over with. From that point on, I was full force going gas pedal to the floor. Ain't no stopping, ain't no brakes. We're gonna do this till the wheels fall off.
Nice. So what year was that?
I wanna say 97.
So I want to say this was 97.
I wanna say this was 97, but I know we're in 2018 right now, and I just went to the Clips for Sale convention, I mean the AVN convention, and I was at the Clips for Sale booth. They're on their 15th year anniversary. My Clips for Sale store is 3003, and as of now, they're in 5-digit numbers. So I want to say I probably started a year or two after they started. That's when I got in it. So do the math.
Let's see. Tell me about the progression. Tell me the eye drops back, just so I don't forget it. Tell me about this. You were shooting amateur porn for a while, and then you got an email or a message from somebody. I forget her name.
You talk about step to step. Okay, so I was doing amateur porn for a while. Clips for Sale was going good. I actually used to have a company called Exclusive, so it wasn't the Shaundam XXX that you all know and love right now. I was actually going under Exclusive, which to me was exclusive with exclusive, and I put it together, and I cut it after about 4 or 5 years because it was just a bad brand, and it wasn't, people couldn't spell it, couldn't pronounce it, couldn't read my logo. And one of my buddies, he put me on to branding. Not a person named Brandon, but branding, like, you know, having a logo and everything, branding that. His name was General Mo. He used to work in the industry as a cameraman, a director, and he released a lot of good videos. But he taught me about branding. He was like, he was one of my graffiti artist friends, and he was like, Shaundam. Well, he said scam, because that's what they call me. He was like, scam. Branding your company is just like when we did graffiti. It's just like when you wrote scam and you tagged S&M and UTI, that was your company. That promotion, that same branding, that same everything you did is the same, but you gotta do it without putting it on the wall. All right, I took a little bit of that. I still kind of put it on the wall a little bit with my stickers, but I got that. And I put that together, so I got my brand together, because I already had what I wanted to do down. I had my product and a little bit of fans. Once I matched the two together, then it started to blow up. So at this point, this is like seven years down the line of me just doing amateur and dabbling around with it, kind of like a hobby. I ended up going from LA to Vegas when I was working with Splat. That was a bad move because when I was in Vegas, I didn't know nobody. I was making money with him, but I didn't have any girls to shoot. But eventually, I worked it out, and I started shooting good out there. I started working for a company out there that actually did porn. I was managing the company. They didn't do porn. They were an internet marketer for porn. So I managed the company, so I got to learn a lot of the inside. Once I left that place, I got tired of Vegas. I moved back to LA. That's when things got better. I started working in the strip clubs out there again. I always DJed in strip clubs. So I DJed in strip clubs back out there. Crazy Girls, Seventh Veil, Star Strip. When I was DJing at Crazy Girls, I met a dancer who was actually a porn star. Her name was Nikki Ferrari. She was from Mexico. And she had very, very, very little bit of English she spoke. And then I remember the first night she came up to me, and then she was like, oh, you didn't, when I'm gonna say it clearer than she said it, but she basically said, you're the new DJ. This is my DVD. I'm Nikki Ferrari. Can you please put me on the stage? And I looked at the DVD and I was like, whoa. I was like, okay. And I told her, my name is Shaundam. I'm the DJ. And I also do porn. And then she was like, oh. And then she was like, cause you know, your boy, you know. So she was smiling and everything. And then she was like, maybe we could work together. And I was like, oh, that would be cool. So she came to work all the time while I DJed like 3 or 4 nights a week there. And she was there like, you know, most of the time when I was there. And I would always ask her about it. So one day we actually set something up. So I showed up. I did my thing. She was happy. It was actually a live cam shoot on her website. So my first biggest star I ever shot with, was she the biggest one? Nah, I've had some other ones that I didn't mention, but she was probably the biggest, most current one. It was live on her website, and plus they shot the video at the same time. So it was dope. So we did a real great scene. She hired me back, and then she hired me back again. The again time, she said, this is gonna be a threesome. And it's like, okay, is that okay with you? You can work with another female model? I say, oh yeah, not a problem. So when I get there, she tells me that today you're shooting with Sarah J. I was like, Sarah who? She was like, Sarah J. Like, what, Sarah J, the Sarah J with the titties? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, and then I was like a little bit starstruck right there. Because I've never ever even, that was like one of my favorite porn stars to watch. So Sarah J comes in, and I'm cool, calm, collected, you know. We do the photos, we do a great scene. If you guys ever want to find that first scene I shot with Nikki Ferrari and Sarah J, it's called Risky Business on my website. I love it. And the scene came out dope. So from that point on, I went from one big star to another big star. And then from that point, Sarah J liked my performance. So she contacted me outside of Nikki Ferrari. And we set something up during the AVNs like the following months. And this was with Sarah J and Carmen Valentina. And that was an awesome scene. From that point on, it just got a whole lot better. Like, Sarah J's been helping me a lot. Like, and I'll say bring it up to today's date. We just dropped a DVD called Boober. And we worked hard on that. And it just dropped this February. And yeah, and it's out there. You got to check that out.
Name some of the people that you've done scenes with. Just name drop real quick.
Favorites or just?
I've done scenes with.
Okay.
Yeah, even that. Who's your favorite?
All right, hold on. I've done scenes with Sarah J. I've done scenes with Nikki Ferrari. I've done scenes with Rochelle Ryan. I've done scenes with Laura Jensen. I've done scenes with Lauren Phillips. I have done scenes with Nadia White. I have done scenes with Sweet Freak. I have done scenes with Marley XXX. I have done scenes with Lila Everett.
You don't have to say I have done scenes with every scene.
Oh, well, goddamn, that's what I thought you wanted me to do. Lila Everett, did I say that right?
Yeah, ever wet, I guess.
Yep, Lila Everett. Oh, I have done scenes with Sophia Rose. Let's see who else. I have done scenes with Busty Cookie. I have done scenes with Busty Brogan. I have done scenes with Alexa Gray. Oh yeah, he told me to stop saying I have done scenes with. All right, Alexa Gray, Busty Brogan, Busty Cookie. Let's see, let's go back in the old days. Hollywood, Tiny Star. Oh, Kelly Shabari, Barbie Sinclair. That was on Playboy. That was my first shoot on Playboy right there. Let's see. Who else I can think of? Let's go. Kiera Wild. Sally D'Angelo.
Okay.
I got more.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm just thinking slow right now. They all in my head. Because I know it's somebody I should say that I ain't said yet. Rachel Domino. All right, fuck it. If I didn't say your name, then oh well.
Okay, let's see. How many DVDs have you put out? How many clips do you think that you have in total?
Let's just sum that all up to this. On my website, as of today, right now, tonight, I have 211 scenes that I own. Some of them are content exchange, but they were all shot under my production. As for photo sets, not all of them have photos to them, but a lot of them do. So I'll say about maybe 30% of those probably have professional photo sets. Before I started doing porn, I was doing music. And the music was cool. I got fans and likes and listens and everything, but I didn't get any money. So I had to switch it over, and that's what made me, like, being a hustler that I am, to start doing more with the porn stuff. So once I saw that first check come for Clips to Sell, the music was totally lost. I was like, okay, we're gonna be on this porn shit. But now that I made a buzz with my brand, it's 2018, and I've already been back in the studio, and I've recorded 8 songs. We're halfway through an album right now. We've been doing live performances, and when I say we, me and Cassie Starr. Cassie Starr rolls with me, that's my girl, and we on stage and we do our thing. I go under Shaundam XXX. I'm on SoundCloud, iTunes, Tidal. Just Google me and you can find everything about me. Okay, as for the future, ShaundamXXX.com, that brand's gonna keep on rocking. New content always coming. As for new projects, I'm coming out with SDXXX Productions. What is SDXX Productions? SDXXX Productions. Basically, I'm gonna be behind the camera. On every video on that production, I'm gonna be behind the camera. Not necessarily on the camera. I'm gonna be directing every video so I can bring all my ideas to life. Because sometimes it's a little bit hard for me to bring them to life when I'm in front of the camera. So, and I have like so many ideas in my head. So that's coming out real soon. I'm already working on it. And what else in the future? Music, I'm still gonna be putting out music, so expect a new single every other month from me, always. So please follow me on SoundCloud. If you don't have any music subscriptions, you can listen to it free on SoundCloud. But if you do have music subscriptions, just support me and listen to it on your music subscription. As for who I am and what I do, number one, I'm a family man. I'm not just out here doing the wild thing. I got a family, and I love my family, a beautiful family. They come first. As for two, I'm a businessman. If it ain't about money, exactly, push that shit over to the left. As for number three, I like to have fun, and I'm a real cool person to work with. One thing, as for me being in this business and the professionalism of it, number one, I like the number system. You have to be tested. And if you want to be in the industry, there's a lot of people that say, oh, I'm going to get tested when I shoot, or this and this and that. Well, if you don't get tested when you shoot, you're not 100% in the game. I stay tested. So if somebody was to call me today, hey, can you shoot tomorrow morning? I ain't got to say, oh, well, you got to give me a day or two, I got to test. I'm always tested. You have to be tested. That's the one thing. We have to be safe in this industry. That's what separates us from normal people. Normal people don't get tested. They go to clubs, they meet people, they fuck without a test. Regardless, condom or not, you still don't get a test. So that's the number one thing that separates. Number two, and that's back to number one, don't ever shoot with nobody that don't got a test. If they don't have a test, I don't give a fuck how much money they offer you. And this basically goes out to a lot of females out there.
Let's start that over.
Right.
So this goes out to all the...
Number two, this goes out to all the females out there. If they don't have a test, don't do it. Because as for me, I've talked to other girls that say, well, my test is 30 days old and other producers want to work with me. I'm not working with you ever again. Ever. I don't do that. We have to stay within the lines. If not, then everything's going wild. A lot of people will go against that and do that. Now if you go shoot with somebody that's already going against the lines, then you're gonna have problems with getting paid, problems with getting your content, and all kinds of other shit, because they're not professional. I'm a professional. That's what brought me from shooting with a $99 camera to a $2,000, $3,000, $400,000. We even shot with a $15,000 camera before. People always, I ain't gonna say people, dudes always hit me up on the inbox. How can I get into porn? That's the biggest question. How can I get into porn? Bro, look, if you heard this whole interview and listen to all the stuff that I went through, that's how you get into it. It don't matter how big your dick is. It don't matter what color your skin is. It's about what you can do for yourself. And it's the same thing with music. When I tried to get into music, I was like, we were going to the studio and we were paying money to make music. But once we got the music, we're like, oh, this song is a hit. This is the shit. Yeah, hey. Nah, okay, cool, we'll listen to it. Right, same thing with your videos. It's not like that. Now it's a whole different opportunity where you could do stuff on your own and grow. The internet, social media, and everything helps you. So if you want to get into porn, I suggest you go get a camera, educate yourself on how to film, and as for getting girls, if that's all you want to do is get girls, get pussy, and you ain't trying to make money off of these videos, then it ain't for you. But if that's your niche and that's what you want to do, for one, you should probably already have some girls. If you a square ass motherfucker and you ain't got no girls, then you probably gonna have a fat pocket. No game means fat pocket. And that's it. Ain't no problem with paying, especially if you finna do a video and make money off of it. If it was one person, now get me right, there's a lot of people I love to thank. But if there was one person I could thank, I would thank my wife, Cassie, because she's been most supportive in so many ways. And not only supportive, but pushing for me to succeed in what I want. and what I want to do in life. And that's why I've been able to push my brand so far and expand from music, from the actual adult videos to music. And it doesn't even stop there. There's some other things we haven't even spoke about. We haven't talked about the clothing line and the beauty line that we coming out with. It's just so much that we've been working on together, and it's all coming together. So thank you, baby.